Ding dong. Your hooligans can be knocking at my door for trick and treats. Oh my goodness, let me open the door and see who we got here. Whoa, nice costumes, kids. Let's see, what are you? What are you, small child?
I'm a vampire.
Well, you don't sound like one, but yeah, very spooky. And what about you next to him?
I'm a Pokeball.
Yeah, I guess. I thought you were like a fishing lure, like a bobber, you know?
Oh,
okay.
A lot of people think I'm a Voltorb.
Vampire kid, can you translate?
Give me the candy now.
Okay, kids. And, wait, who's that walking up behind you? Connor, you get out of here! That's my neighbor Connor, kids. I'm sorry. Get out!
No, I'm a bed
You're
sheet.
not supposed to TP.
I'm a bed sheet. Look.
You're not even wearing it right. You're wearing it like a cape. You're not even ghosting.
Well, isn't this how everybody does it?
I see you're holding eggs and toilet paper.
No.
That's a bad sign.
Well, like, I always want to be
Vampire
ready.
kid, get out of my house! Why are you already in my house? Get away from the bowl!
I just want to always be ready to, make breakfast and use the bathroom.
That Connor, every year.
You're
18.
I've already started climbing the side of his house, through like the drain pipe thing, like the what's it called? Adam, help me out. Where the water goes down from the roof.
Oh, the downpipe?
Yeah, the downpipe. I've started climbing that, and I'm gonna.
Oh, he's almost at the eaves trough now.
It's time to fly. After all these years of sleep, I'm turning into a bat once again.
A Zubat. Cool.
Roll to fly.
Mister, I hope you don't mind me flying on your roof. What an honor.
This could go very baddy.
Roll to fly. See if you do it.
It's so high up here, mister. You're not even telling me to come down. This is crazy.
I'm sorry. Get down from there.
You said you wanted him to do a trick.
All right. I'm gonna roll to turn into a bat and fly.
Okay.
I'm just gonna take pictures.
That's a 14.
You believe with all your might that you will become a bat. You spread your cape in. Parents across the street are all gasping as they're like, look, and they're like turning their kids' heads away because they think you're gonna jump. And the mister's just like, hey, get off my roof!
I am darkness!
I am
jump.
justice!
And you jump. And your fangy grin just opens wide as the wind flows through your cheeks. And for a brief moment, even though vampires are dead, you feel alive. And you come crashing down and belly flop onto Connor and break all his eggs. But just as you get covered with eggs, you fly and you're a bat.
Bye-bye.
Oh my! He really is a Zubat.
My eggs!
I'm going to the East Coast. That's where all the fruit bats are.
The ones that are still alive.
Voltorb, am I having a stroke?
It's best not to think about it.
Bye-bye.
And that's how Fruit Batman
No,
started.
I'm not a fruit bat. I'm a regular bat a vampire bat that's going to be king of the fruit bats.
And is this where we now tell everyone about our comic book that's coming out next month? Fruit Batman? I mean, I think we were going to wait till after Halloween, but it just feels right. Guys, we're so excited. All of our Patreon support has finally been building up to this one thing. Here it is, guys, our grand opus, and it is our Fruit Batman comic book. It's coming out. You've been requesting it. It's been flooding our DMs, and we are happy to give this to you. So
It's just regular Batman, but he's a vegan.
How do you know Batman's already not vegan?
you don't get that kind of muscle without sufficient protein, gram per pound.
There's protein supplements.
Well, I guess.
There's no way Batman would just take the easy way out on like lean, like white chicken meat.
Maybe that's why you broke the eggs.
Brown rice. He'd take the hard way, the vegan route.
Yeah, he would. And he'd still do better than all of us.
So, listeners, I know what you're thinking. Are they a Masks RPG playthrough podcast with like the superhero version stuff?
I am now. Oh.
Well, we might be now, but no, we're Dungeons and Dragons, you goofs, and I'm here with the Batman, Jacob.
No, I'm the vampire Batman.
Vampire Batman.
King of the
Isn't there a Batman like spin-off series where he is like a literal vampire?
Would you like to know?
That would suck.
And oh well, that's Jacob. Jacob's that guy. And we got Adam
Hi. Hello.
and Connor.
Welcome.
And we always do an intro bit, and this one definitely did not go where I thought it would. I just thought you guys were gonna come up with funny costumes and get your candy and leave.
You turned me into a creeper from the next door.
What do you mean I turned you in? That's just who
Yeah,
you
it was
are.
the way you sounded.
I
your
didn't
regular
say
voice?
It is
anything.
actually a cleverly disguised intervention. We are concerned,
Oh, cool.
and we still love you. You know, this doesn't change how we feel about you, but
You just have to stop egging people's houses.
Look, let's just whisk me away to Leek's garden. I don't want to be on this. I don't want to be on this plane.
Oh, here we
deflection.
go. This is therapy. All right.
I thought this would go over easy.
Recap time. The gang was on their airship, the Sparrow, flying towards Leek's Garden to find the bard from the first Grand Hunter Treasure Hunter team named Randy Domino so he could translate this book they got way back in Season 1 when they entered the first Grand Treasure Cube thing. They flew all the way there, and they saw a fire going off in one section of the jungle. They immediately turned to rescue and help it, which I was shocked by. I planned more for the opposite route where they don't help. But it shows how much I know. They always do the opposite. And they fought some basically humanoid ants. One had a gun and had a blue flower on its chest, so clearly something's going on. And the other one was just crazy. But after defeating those and saving a part of the jungle, these little black spirits with white masks called Chwingas. You got that, Connor? Chwingas. And
Yeah, that was the funniest thing last episode. Oh my god.
please listen back to Connor's
Twingas?
pronunciation. I still don't know if he
Twingas?
hears me.
No,
I heard it.
Chwingas.
It's
It was Twingas and
Chwingas.
Chwingas.
I get it.
and Bwingas. Anyways, the Chwingas helped him and guided all of them to find Randy in his cave. And that's where we are now. Randy Domino, the giant, literal dragon-sized dragonborn. And he was just cooking some stew in his cave. You guys barged in, and he spooked, looking at the three of you standing there, non-menacingly. And he's spooked especially by Zippy. And he's saying that Coco, he's referring to Zippy as Coco. And if you remember all the way back, Zippy was told that he kind of looks like a Lapine that was a part of the first Grand Treasure Hunters squad.
DM, how big is this pot he's cooking with?
It's actually pretty big. It's dragon-sized pot. It's a very big pot.
So the heat source would have to be massive to like actually make soup with this thing.
He could be doing like heat metal or something.
Yep. You can see there's like a bonfire of like twigs and like trees and stuff that he's taken down.
And we're in a hut?
It's a cave, but there is a ventilation system. There's like a hole that goes
We're probably being burned alive in here.
It's a very good temperature for a dragonborn. For you guys, it's like a sauna.
Can I get a good reference of like scale here? Like, let's say Darian's as tall as your pinky. How big is Randy Domino?
I already said he's like K Lumsey size from DK64. I don't know, like my hand. If you're the size of my pinky, I don't know, my forearm.
Holy,
Oh my
he's
gosh.
big. So he's like
Okay.
60, 70 feet tall.
Like he's like a legit big dragon if they were standing on their back legs big.
This is a big
Wow.
cave.
It's hot in here.
Yeah, it's very big. You can tell it's actually like sculpted out though. Like
But he's visibly afraid of Zippy, right?
yeah, and there's like a giant like table and stuff, and he has like a hammock thing. Like everything's like to scale for him, and you can see it's like carved out. It's a huge cave, and it goes like quite a bit down. You know,
I put up
underground.
my hands to shield from the heat.
It's just a sauna. It's like a sauna.
Yeah, and I'm filled with fur.
I'm going to whisper to Zippy. I'm going to say, any reason why he's, any idea why he's so afraid of you?
I don't know. Maybe he's afraid he might cook me alive, or maybe he wants to put me in the stew. Maybe he's afraid that I'll taste so good.
I wonder how a lapine does taste.
Ooh.
Why would you say that?
Well, I don't know. You brought up eating you. I just was curious.
That's like saying, how does the freaking lodging taste?
You know, that is a good point.
What is the is Darian is social adept.
Zippy, you actually told us back in episode 1 of season 1 that you actually ate your own kind when they were deceased, so you would actually be a good source on this.
Yeah, but it's different when another race says it. There's a reason we eat each other.
The Randy, the giant dragon man, is back up against the other side of the cave wall, and he's like, "Oh, go away!" And he like throws his oven mitt towards you guys. It's like, what is coming? Everybody make a dexterity save.
Oh no!
Oh boy!
Death by oven mitt.
To me, it looks like he's trying to pick me up. Like, it's so big that it looks like his hand's just coming for me.
12 plus 7, 19.
9 plus 7, 16.
Since I think it's his hand trying to pick me up, I don't want to roll.
You want to willfully fail? Okay.
Or it looks like he's just trying to pick me up. I'm assuming he's going to put me in the stew, so I think it's
He's
over.
basically taking off his mitt and he's throwing it at you guys like a frisbee.
I
You
was
know
talking
that,
to
right?
Normandy.
Okay. Norman and Darian both turn to the side and glance and see the mitt coming, and they dive out of the way. And the giant oven mitt just comes, it socks you in the gut, and you go flying out the cave entrance that you were just standing in front of. And you're like,
Oh, Zippy!
and you go bouncing down, and it was cushy, so you only take 7 damage, but you go bouncing out the cave, and you kind of land back outside near the river mouth, where it's just attached to. There's a big river there.
Okay, I'm gonna raise my hands and step in between, or kind of like over the mitt, and I'm gonna say, reading the room, I'm gonna say, hold on, there's no need to be alarmed. Randy, we're friends. We have a mutual acquaintance named Gilbert. He's the one who sent us to come talk to you. There's no need for distress. We come peacefully, and this is, you just hit our friend and our compatriot Zippy. He's a Lapine, but has no relation to anyone you know.
You sound so small. Why is your voice so high pitched? It's such like your name. Speak louder, please. I'm scared.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to use thaumaturgy and repeat everything I said in an octave lower.
I don't know who you people are, why you're trying to get into my cave, but I ain't done nothing to nobody. And that Coco,
No, it's...
I can't believe he's back.
That's not Coco. Rest assured, that's not Coco. That's our Lapine friend,
That's the
Zippy.
spitting image.
That's possibly. I don't really know any reasons as to why, but
Who are you people? I'm scared.
Well, hello. My name is Norman D. And these are my compatriots, Darian Branch, and this is Zippy Westboro from the Brimble Patch.
Hey Zippy,
And
are you okay?
He'll be back soon. You kind of knocked him.
Just silence. we don't hear Zippy anymore.
But we're actually friends of Gilbert. Perhaps you know him. He used to be a greeter from Orem of some renown, and he
Gilbert
actually
who? There's a lot of Gilberts in this world, and I've been around a long time.
Gilbert from Orem. He was a greeter of some renown.
There's 4 Gilberts in Orem. I'm gonna need a last name.
Do we know his last name?
Yeah, I've said it several times. This is a history check for you guys in real life.
Oh boy.
Gilbert Godfrey.
What is it?
It's Bernstein.
Bernstein. Bernstein.
I said it once. Wait. How you know Gilbert?
Oh, well,
Kind of like a friend and mentor.
Yeah, well said. Yeah, couldn't have said it better that way. We actually partnered up not too long ago in the hunt for grand treasures. We're actually pretty hot on the tail of one, we believe. But we've actually come
Ain't he
to a
all
dead end.
old and crusty though?
No, he looked not too bad. Well, actually, kind of awkward. You may want to sit down for this next part, Randy. We have some bad news.
Say it.
Gilbert is dead. He came to an unfortunate end.
Oh, well, that happens with you humans.
Oh, well, as long as we can move on, I thought that would be a bit of a sticking point.
I mean, it's sad, but I mean, you guys ain't dragons.
Such is the mortal coils of life, you know? Listen, we know that you're a bard, supposedly one of the greatest bards out there, and that you are a fountain of knowledge. So we actually have come seeking some of that knowledge to further our quest for a grand treasure. We're hoping you can help us actually translate something that Darian has here. Darian, why don't you show him the book?
Okay, slow down. I'm still confused.
Let's pump the brakes here a little bit. Can we just make sure Zippy's, not dead? I called out for him and got silence.
DM, in the meantime, while they've all been talking, are there like squirrels and not rabbits, but like squirrels and like other little creatures around?
Yeah, actually, there's like some fern lizards, and some just fishes jumping up the stream.
Can I get them to come with me, like into the cave?
How many of them?
Like as many as I can get. Because I can speak with animals.
Okay, what do you want to speak?
Oh, I just want to say, come with me and have a good time.
Okay.
Like, follow me. We're going on an adventure. Like a Pied Piper type situation.
You shout out into the jungle, just being like Tarzan style, like, but you're just calling Snow White for help. You see like some lizards come down the side of the wall here, like the cliff face that the cave is buried into. You actually see there's like a vine wolf. It's like a wolf made of like plants and stuff. It's coming down the side of the stream, and it hops over and it's looking at you. Some fish are jumping out of the water, but they're immediately drowning in air because they're floating out of the sea, and then they flip back and they're like, sorry, we can't.
Oh, it's okay, and I grab them.
Okay, you grab some fish, and they're in your arms. You also see there's some like little tiny like birds. They're kind of like ostriches. They just can't fly, but they're like flightless ostriches, as well as some like little tiny dinosaurs, like little velociraptor tiny dinosaurs.
Awesome. Let's go in the cave.
They all start falling behind. They're like, whoa, what is going on? They're like immediately friendly to you, and they're just kind of curious.
Oh, of course. I'm a nice rabbit. We go in the cave. All right, big dragon man. I offer you on any of these other choices. Just don't eat me.
Roll animal handling.
That's a 20, not natural.
Some hear what you say and like are slowly backing out of the cave. Like the wolf is like, oh,
hey, I thought we were friends.
And they're like, and then they start running. But the rest of them are too dumb and they stay.
These are yours.
Coco, why are you back? And I don't want any of them. They're too small anyways.
I knew it. I'm the tastiest of them all. Wait, Coco? I thought you were calling me like a spice or something to add to the soup. Like coconut milk or coconut water or something.
I've heard that some people do use cocoa and chilies.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Okay, you can all leave. You can all leave, and I usher the animals out of here. Guard the entrance.
The animals immediately are like, all right. And then they just go like prancing out the cave, and the dinosaurs like hopping on the fern lizards' backs, and they're just like crawling out, and they're like, that was fun.
Guard the entrance.
A velociraptor, a little mini one, looks behind and salutes. And then
While that's happening, DM, I'm going to pull out a Sharpie and just on my tattoo on my arm where I have like a tomato soup recipe, because I have a bunch of tattoos, I'm just going to scribble down Coco with a question mark and put it away.
That's probably going to rub off, but sure, yeah.
Why do you keep calling me Coco?
Wait. Your voice. That ain't Coco's voice.
Well, it could be. What did he sound like?
Not like that.
Well, I want you to try.
I can't do voices.
Well, you can do that voice.
Yeah, I can do this voice. It's one of my bodies. Well, it's my main body instrument, actually.
Wait, you can sing like you're a master of singing, but like you can't do voices?
I mean, it's different.
Okay.
You know, that's true, Zippy. You know, vocal
You know who
cords.
I am? Well, clearly not. You're not Coke. Man, I'm sorry for the misunderstanding, but you look like exactly like him if he was like dressing like a homeless person and had a dumb little robe on.
What if I do this and I slick back my ears?
He never did that.
Well, maybe I should just dress like this now.
Double O Zippy.
Well, that's weird. And I don't know anything about this Coco guy, but maybe I do. Maybe I'm his lost son. Maybe.
Man, maybe you are. I can't believe it. And he gets down, and he comes down on all fours, and he's like putting his big dragon face close to you in his eye, and he's like, damn.
I grab his nose.
Stop. Man, yeah. I'm sorry, but you scared me. It's like I was seeing a ghost.
Oh, he's dead?
I don't know. But I know that he said if he'd ever see me again, he was going to kill me. So that's why I was a little scared.
I could see myself saying that too.
Okay.
Randy.
Wait, okay. Let me. And he gets back up on his feet.
I'm still holding on to the nose.
Okay. And he like picks you off. And he
No,
puts you
not
in
the
his hand.
suit!
He puts you in his hand. He's like, calm down, jeez.
Put me on your head. I want to see what it's like up here. I won't kill you. I promise I'm not Coco.
Well, immediately now, upon closer inspection, I can tell you're not very harmful. All right. And he puts you on his head. And you can see he has like some like tufts of like white gray hair because he's old.
Not very powerful. I'm a level 10 druid.
It's like little hairs between the scales. But the scales are not very shiny anymore.
Guys, it's nice up here.
I believe you.
But there's some dead skin up here. You need to shower, bro.
All right. You got my attention. You broke into my house. I'll hear you guys out because I haven't had visitors in a while. But here, you guys hop in my hand. I'll put you on the table and we'll all sit down and chat.
Okay.
He puts his hand down in front of you, Darian and Norman.
So, all right.
I hop on.
I'll step on too.
But first, how clean are his nails?
Not very.
Okay, whatever.
All right,
finish.
before we get too deep into really what we originally came for, why are you so scared of Coco anyway?
I just said he'd kill me if he saw me again.
He said he'd kill him, Darian.
What did you do?
I didn't do nothing. He said that's all of us back in the day. But I'm sorry. You guys seem to know me. How much do you know about me? How much of my legends get around? I'm sure a ton of them. Actually, what am I saying? I'm a celebrity.
Your song went #1 20 years ago.
Really?
I'm making that up.
Dragons love too?
That was a very short-lived lie.
I don't lie. I just trick people.
Okay, maybe you are, Coco. All right. Then you all go to the table, and he sits down, and he puts you guys out of your hand onto the table, big wooden table, and Zippy, you're still on his head, and he's like, so, let me back it up. You said you knew Gilbert, and he kind of sent you here,
Kind of.
and he's dead.
Well, the thing is, we met Gilbert some time ago and partnered with him on our grand treasure quest. And unfortunately, as my friend here mentioned, he unfortunately was killed in an unfortunate end. But before that happened, he had mentioned that he had a contact, you, in Leek's Garden, that could help us decipher a journal. It's got an old language on it that, frankly, the three of us know nothing about. And we were wondering if you're a friend of Gilbert's, then, well, hopefully you're a friend of ours. Do you think you might be able to give us a hand?
I mean, I knew Gilbert a little bit,
way back not way back, but when he was a young man.
Was he part of your team?
No.
Okay.
We were way back. He's young. I'm freaking old, man.
How old are you anyway?
I don't know. Time is weird. I've been time traveling a little bit and all this other junk. Is that getting around too?
Okay, we don't need the little flex, okay? We all know you think you're the greatest bard out there, okay?
Wait, hold on. You can time travel?
Yeah, well, not really. Just forwards. Time gets weird sometimes. But you guys are greeters. I'm going to tell you right now, I've had a few of you stop in over the years. Just a few. And I tell them all the same. Give it up.
Well, I appreciate your input on that, but it will be taken into account as we continue this discussion. But do you think you could help us decipher this journal?
Ain't deciphering nothing. Everybody comes here and they're just like, I want to get a great treasure. You've been there. Yeah, I found one. But you greeters are all the same.
You found one? Which one?
Are you serious? Do you know or not know who I am?
Randy, I hate to break this to you, but perhaps with the passage of time, it seems that many of your accomplishments have been lost to myth. Aside from Gilbert, and I'm not the most well versed, but aside from Gilbert, I don't think any of the three of us had ever heard of you before.
Randy's a little taken aback by that, and he looks at Darian and tries to look at Zippy. He's like kind of sighing, like, what? Like, are you for real right now?
Well, I mean, we had heard of your team, but I wouldn't necessarily say your name is quite a celebrity status anymore.
What?
Yeah, we're more fans of the Felix guy. We even have a couple of his memorabilia, like a ring.
You got his ring? What?
Yeah.
Felix is whatever.
He's super cool. Everyone knows who he is.
He is very in these days, Randy. I hate to break it to you.
So everyone's forgetting about the first people, the first ones to find treasure, the ones that even kick off this thing. I named everybody greeters. I came up with that name.
Oh, it's got a great ring to it.
Thank you.
But yes, unfortunately, the only people who kind of knew anything about even Coco was Odin. I don't know if you know him. Kind of name dropping. Odin, and he was like a
Kendula.
Oh yeah, that guy. We still have his dragon scales, by the way. Anyways, but
Dragon scales? Where?
Yeah, that's a little offensive, Normandy.
Oh, leave it to me.
How'd you come up with the greeter name?
It was easy. I was like, what makes your treasure? Greedy. Greedy people want treasure. And then I'm like, who gonna get them? Themers. And I'm like, greeters, is all meld together.
Damn. With how lame your group sounds, it gives me hope for our group.
He immediately looks sad. And he goes and picks you up off his head, puts you on the table.
Hey! I liked it up there.
And he gets out of his seat and he's like,
I guess I'm just a washed up has-been.
Well, that's what happens when you live in a cave. Shouldn't you be like king of something by now or something?
You guys probably haven't even seen the world. You don't even know what you're doing with grand treasures. Nobody does. Do you know what I know? I know everything. I know everything in this whole freaking world. And you guys come in here and you're like, I'm not Coco. And it's like, what? Who cares? And who's Randy? I made this.
How could you know everything if you mistook me for someone else? That's silly.
Okay, one lapse of judgment. You gotta give me one.
Listen, Randy, you think you know everything, but the reality is you don't. In fact, I can guarantee you that all three of us have been places that you've never been. We've seen things you've never seen.
You kidding me? I've been all over this way. Have you even changed planes yet? That's a big pack. I mean, come on.
I think Darian did, but he came back.
I've done it a couple times.
You little man, you don't know nothing. You don't know nothing about me, apparently, either. That just shows how ignorant you are.
Yeah, let's dial everything back a little bit here. Like,
No.
you said you know a lot.
I ain't talking with a bunch of nobodies who don't know nothing about nothing.
Well, Randy,
You can't connect with a bard without knowing things.
Hold on, I have an idea. Darian, Zippy, 1 moment. Randy, I'll make you a wager.
What?
If we know something you genuinely don't know, how about you help us out?
Oh, I don't like where this is going.
Oh, I like where this is going.
He gets down, and he puts his hands on the table, and he puts his head close to you, and you can feel, like, some heat from his nostrils, and he's just like,
You think you know something I don't? Just 'cause I'm underground in this cave doesn't mean my mind is. I know all the things going on.
It almost sounds like we're about to have a bardic battle. Almost like a duel. A bardic duel.
I said if this turned into a battle of the bands, I'm out of here.
No. Let's see what you got, little man.
Have you heard about the furnace in Poker Rock?
You mean Two Towers Fort? 'Cause that's all there's no man.
Well, he helps the dwarves make the wares they sell.
Is that story so old it's boring to tell?
Well, what about the tale of the wandering golem? The one that walks along the bottom of the ocean.
Is that all you have? Is that all you know? For a bard so well known, you have nothing to show. So let me take a swing. If you give chocolate to a mermaid, let's just say their hair becomes a fish braid.
Human legs and a fishy face.
And they can't turn back once they've even had a taste.
Well, what's another thing that I wouldn't know?
There's a door at the base of the Atomogena volcano. It's never been opened, and I know what you're hoping. Even I don't know what's inside.
Wait, are you joking? Let me take a swing.
So let me take a swing.
You'll never really know how much I really know, so don't you try to steal my thunder. You'll never get to see what I've already seen. It's time to sit back and wonder. It's hard being a bard when you don't know as much as I know.
Not all humans are born, you know.
Yes, that fact hits close to home.
Some are made or grown like plants.
Waiting to be put on like a pair of pants.
Did you know smoking is bad for you?
Even for a dragonborn?
Yes, it's true.
Oh, you don't say. Well, that's so not okay. They should really put that on the label.
But do they?
Let me take a swing. You'll never really know how much I really know, so don't you try to steal my thunder. You'll never get to see what I've already seen. It's time to sit back and wonder. It's hard being a bard when you don't know as much as I know. You'll never really know how much I really know, so don't you try to steal my thunder. You'll never get to see what I've already seen. It's time to sit back and wonder. It's hard being a bard when you don't know as much as I know. There's a tale that I recently heard. I learned it in a place that burns. Before there were treasures to find, someone threw a feast for the gods one time. There's a tale that I
Darian, what's he talking about? A feast for the gods?
Beats me, Zip. Whatever it is, we'll have to ask him about it later.
one time. It's hard being a bard when you know as much as I know. You'll never really know how much I really know, so don't you try to steal my thunder. You'll never get to see what I've already seen. It's time to sit back and wonder. It's hard being a bard when you don't know as much as I know.
Yeah, baby. Ooh. Now I gotta say,
That was good.
I knew all that stuff though.
Do you know what? I got to admit, you're way more knowledgeable than me. But you know that's why as bards need to stick together to amass knowledge and to compare our songs. By the way, that was some great harmonies you did. I love what you did with the thaumaturgy at the end.
Where did all those instruments come from?
Oh, the magic of thaumaturgy. You know.
Usually just from my natural bombastic voice.
Oh, there's like a lot of harmonies in there.
Maybe too many. I'll try to dial it back a little bit. It's really hard to tell in the moment. You're just so into
No,
it.
dial it more, I say.
Listen, Randy. We're of the same cloth. We need your help. Would you please help us? I know that pursuing these grand treasures can be a folly, but when you're young like us and our lives are so small, you just have to pursue something. Would you please help us? Just translate this for us, please.
You know what, guys? Nothing soothes my old soul like a good harmony in song. You guys are different. Nobody's ever sang to me, and that's like my shtick. All right. Okay.
And he takes a big sit down in the chair again after dancing around the room during that song.
Like an earthquake.
Damn. Why don't we just produce songs instead of rolling? It's way more effective.
Yeah, you have to roll a single charisma roll.
And he looks at you guys and he's like,
Okay. So let me recap your greeters. Gilbert told you about some grand treasure, and you got a book.
Well, yeah. I mean, technically we're independents. We're not graders, but it's neither here nor there. Yeah, we actually went into the first grand treasure. We saw the room that you and your team found.
You went in there.
The cube, yeah.
How is it? It's pretty weird.
How old are you guys? Well, I mean, how far did you skip?
Oh, a few months.
Yeah, we didn't stay too long. We just did an investigation, tried to see what we could find, and then left. And yeah, I think it was like 2 months, 6 months?
A few. Let's keep it loose.
We even stole a little creature from it, too.
We didn't steal it.
Oh, we definitely stole.
No.
Have you seen Pepper? She's not even potty trained. She definitely has a parent that's missing her.
Now that I think about it, her kids have probably outgrown her in there.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Wait. You just said she was... Whatever. Okay. We made a companion of a hawk fox while we were in there, and she came out with us. Her name's Pepper.
Oh, those cute little creatures.
Actually, you'll like her. She speaks Draconic.
What? I do not remember that when I was in there.
No, that's his fault.
Hi!
Well, damn. Where was there? Well, I guess we already killed the basilisk in there before, the big lizard. But,
So,
damn.
speaking of killing that basilisk, there was another body we found in there. Did you know why? We found robes in the body of a monk.
Oh. You must be talking about Nyai Gambira, the monk from our squad. I heard he went back there. He wanted to die there, it seemed.
I think I might have disturbed his remains. I think I took one of his bones.
Oh, damn, I like you. That's hilarious. I mean, respect, but... Oh, that's good.
Is he gonna haunt me?
I don't know, maybe. But you found him and...
So that's actually where we found this book. I don't know if maybe Gambira continued other investigations in the meantime after your team had disbanded. And so that's what we want to know what's in there. This is actually his journal.
Let me see.
and he reaches down with two big fingers to grab the book.
I take out the book and I place it in between.
You place it in between, and it's pretty small, and he's like,
1 second.
and he has a giant backpack in the corner of the room, and he goes over, and he opens it, and while he does, you hear a booming voice come from it where it's like, bark, 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 bark. And he's like, shut up. And he just reaches in, and he pulls out a scroll, a little scroll, and he comes back to the table, and he unfurls the little scroll, and he puts the book on it. It's like he's doing like little mini sculptures or something, or playing with like little dolls. He puts the book on, and then he's like, all right.
Do they look like D&D minis?
No, for you they're normal size. It just looks like a scroll in a book.
Oh, okay, cool.
But then he says grow, and whoosh, and the scroll disappears as enlarge is cast on the book. He's like,
Oh, okay, there we go. Oh. Yeah, he must have kept a journal. Or like a book to copy down all the stuff after we left. Oh, this is a trip down memory lane.
he starts flipping through the pages.
What language is in there anyway?
Oh, I don't know. I can't read it. But the pictures are nice.
What? Are you sure?
Now, hold on, Randy. You're joking, right?
No, I was saying I know everything, and that's not true. I don't know this language because he made it up. It's like his own secret monk code thing.
That makes sense.
Yeah, you know how they are. Let me
Not
see.
really. Not really.
Wait. Is this like a monastic order thing? Like, would other monks of his order know what the book said?
No, I don't think so. He was kind of a loner. He liked making up his own code, so I think it's one of those.
So, would there be some kind of cipher or something for it then that we could decode it with?
I mean, you don't need that. You got me.
Wait, so you...
He's just detailing stuff.
Wait, so you can understand it, eventually?
I mean, I know what he's talking about based off the pictures. It's kind of obvious. I lived it, man. He's just He's just chronicling what we did.
Well, enlighten us. We'd love to hear the story.
Okay. One sec. Oh, that was good. I think that was a joke. I can't tell, but there was a picture of a donkey. I rode a donkey into town once, like blindfolded and backwards. That's probably, that's illegal in Orem. That's why. The guys hated me for that. Good times.
Wait, were you always this size?
Oh, me? No. I didn't used to be as big and beautiful as you see now. I actually used to be a little tiny itty bitty dragonborn. But now look at me.
Okay, just clarifying. I was just clarifying because you said you were riding a donkey. I was just thinking that would be a huge donkey. Sorry.
You see, I used to be normal size. I grew up in Midway, and that's where I found why, why I wanted to search. All of us in the first Grand Treasure hunting team, we all found clues and remnants of the Grand Treasures. And we just kept searching. All of us had something we were searching for, and we didn't know what a Grand Treasure was, but we know what we wanted. And at one point, all our goals aligned, I suppose. But
quick question, because you seem to know everything. If the whole Grand Treasure business was starting around the time of you and your team, how did everybody even learn about these Grand Treasures? Was there some big declaration or something that Salem did?
No, it was us. After we found it and after we discovered and killed the beast and got the loot, we left and, well, that was about, 300 years ago now? And then when we were out, we started telling the world. Some of us, maybe me, I was showing off a little bit, saying, hey, look what I found. But, yeah, that's when everybody learned. Before that, nobody was on the case. It was wide range, just free range roaming for Grand Treasure hunters.
Then
we were the only ones.
Then where did the story of Salem come from? How did you get on the trail in the first place?
Well, me personally, well, as I said, I grew up in Midway, which is a place between plains. It's in the carcass of the beast of creation, Primera, which is the first ever dragon. And I grew up, it's this town just built in its carcass and bones, and I grew up every day looking up at the skyline and seeing that ribcage. And as a descendant of Primera, being dragonborn and such, I wanted to become a dragon, and look at me, I'm nearly there. So I've almost accomplished that, but I kept looking and finding and trying to find ways to become a dragon. A real one. And it led me to find, those symbols of Salem. And, after that we started looking and matching and, in the canals of information. We found like-minded people who had seen similar things, and we all put our info together, and then we kind of cracked the code. But Salem, though, we learned about Salem from, well, the Warlock.
Which warlock?
The one on the Grand Treasure hunting team. Yeah, you shouldn't remember him. He's kind of an asshole.
What was their
His
name?
name was Cav. Cav Shadari. She was a centaur. But don't remember her. She turned her back on all of us when we found the first Grand Treasure. You see, she was connected to this guy named Turi. God bless. That was the Warlock thing, and Turi told us that Salem and gave us the information. That was a huge help. That's how she learned of the Grand Treasures, because Turi was guiding her to them. You know, Grand Treasures are a god thing. I don't know if you guys knew that. There's another one for you. You don't look shocked, so I'm gonna keep moving. So we found it, and she helped, and she kind of informed us that it was from the gods. It just wasn't just randomly there. So we learned a lot more that way. But after a while, after going on our adventures and sometimes splitting paths and coming together, the 12 of us, the sorcerer, cleric, fighter, bard, monk, barbarian, paladin, warlock, wizard, druid, rogue, and ranger all came together. And we cracked the code to that cube, because we all found the pots, the 3 pots, and put them together. Slotted it in. You know, before that, actually, there wasn't just one slot. There was several slots all over it. And it was kind of dangerous, because depending on where you put the spire, you guys saw, that's how you got in there, right? That spire, the rectangular one. There was lots of holes, and if you put it in the wrong one, you died. So that was kind of iffy to get around, but we found the right hole eventually.
Wait, so, sorry, just jumping back, because, we may or may not have crossed paths with Turi before. Was she a tether? Were tethers around at that time? Or was Turi her patron as a warlock?
Well, tethers, yeah. I guess you could say she was one of those, you know. Some warlocks can get slightly little tethers, but not really. They're not real, you know. But yeah, she was full blown. Lots of tethers are basically warlocks.
So that must mean she's long gone then.
Yep, dead as a doorknob. Well, I say that because she, you know, backstabbed us. See, all of us went in there, and we fought the beast, and we found the treasure, and it was this big, enormous pile of gold. It got my dragon soul fired. And, well, all of us started splitting it up. But then actually Coco, the ranger of our squad, he noticed that Cav and Baby Beak Nelson, the rogue Kenku of our squad, the two of them were trying to sneak away for some reason. So we caught them and we asked them, and then they tried to book it and lock us all in there. And we had a huge fight and everything, and Cav died because they tried to use the real Grand Treasure. And then Baby Beak Nelson got away with it. And when we left it, we were in there for about 2 days, and when we got out, years had gone by.
Wait.
That's why I was saying time travel earlier.
Oh. Wait, sorry. The real Grand Treasure?
Oh, yeah. Don't you guys know about Felix? Isn't he parading it around? I heard he had it last. It's this coin, you see.
Oh, right. How each Grand Treasure has a mirage or a distraction, but then perhaps there's a real, genuine, gifted item underneath.
Bingo! We were all distracted by the gold, and we didn't realize that the one coin was the real thing.
What does the coin do?
Well, you see, it's very dangerous and very powerful. You see, before you flip it, you call heads or tails, and you say heads, what you want to happen, and tails is the payment for it that gets inscribed on the flip side. For example, Cav died because she wanted to kill Fenrise, our sorcerer. They flipped it. They said they wanted to kill them, but to kill a life, you have to take a life. And unfortunately, she flipped on the wrong side. But you can see that the limits are endless. You can say whatever you want. You want the world to go blip, you flip it, could happen.
This all sounds like something I'd want. Can I have the coin?
I don't have the coin.
Oh, never
Felix
mind.
has it. If Felix has it, that means that he's not only an extremely capable foe, but he is the luckiest man alive for it to have never turned on him yet.
I suppose. I don't know how he got it from Baby Beak Nelson, but... Or Coco, for that matter. Last I saw Coco, they were trying to hunt them down.
And how long ago was that?
Like 300 years ago when we got out. It was pretty immediate.
I see. So things went bad between Coco and yourself shortly after leaving that cube.
Yeah. Coco was kind of on the outs. A lot of us were. I was kind of like, the floater. I kind of had friends with everybody. But of course, it was the main clique, the sorcerer, cleric, and fighter. That all, they made Aurum after because they were using their share of the gold to do that.
Well, they say investing in real estate is is a really smart move long term.
I'm more into the arts than real estate. But Coco and I I thought I was close with him. But Coco always seemed weirdly distant, One time he actually even told me, he mentioned he always felt like he was being drawn to somewhere out of reach. Maybe that's a bramble patch thing. That's why they stay there, because things are just out of reach for them. So they just, instead of reaching, they stay complacent.
Yeah, that's probably true.
That took a turn I wasn't expecting.
But not for me.
But yeah, Coco was mad because they felt cheated, and I've learned never cross a lapine.
Well, I think we've all learned that.
Exactly.
So hold on. As the rest of your team, they're long dead then, right?
Some of them are. Fenris, Mo Rambjorg, and Kat Alvaro, all the people from Aurum, they're all gone. The monk, Nyai Gambira is gone. I don't know what happened to Hank, the barbarian. Or Yuri, the paladin. I'm sure because, their life spans are small. The only one who might still be kicking is Prince Verulius Arozar, House of Dumas. That wizard. I hate his name. It's too long. I just call him PVA HD. VAT.
Wait. Dumas? Wasn't that the name of the last name of the mercenary who was hired to protect Gilbert? Alexandre Dumas?
Gilbert got himself a Dumas?
Oh.
Yeah. He was from Jadou, right?
Yeah, that's where Verulius is home.
Hold on. Connor, how do you remember that? That was flipping 2 seasons ago.
I don't know. I remember.
What the
I thought he was amazing.
How is this possible? Okay. Sorry to break the illusion. Sorry, back in.
So does he have his own kingdom then, and he may still be alive? What was
Yeah,
he?
I heard he found a way to make a city fly. He always wanted his own little magic country. He's a wizard after all. You can't blame him.
So, and what, if I may ask, what was his species?
Bullywug.
What's the lifespan of a bullywug?
Yeah, pretty short, but knowing him, he'd find a way.
Well, you as an example, prime example of elongated life.
Dragons live forever.
It's pretty amazing.
Listen,
The only other one I could think of is that could maybe be alive is Plenty, but they're a turtle and they're a druid. They might just be in a tree for all I know, napping for who knows how long. He was always a sleepy fella.
listen, Randy, this is quite a lot to go on. It's a lot to process, at least. Something I'd be remiss not to ask you about is, have you seen any of these? And I'm gonna pull out the piano key.
You pull it out.
Whoa. Looks like you guys are the real deal. You know, man, how'd you find this?
Full disclosure, it was,
It's hard finding the first one, but the rest are easy, but the first one's the hardest to find.
Sorry, were those the pieces you were talking about for the first grand treasure? Were they similar keys?
Yeah, they're all different shapes. Sometimes it's a sword. You know, I've seen lots of random pieces of grand treasure keys over the years, but usually you need like 1 to 4 of them. It depends.
we have one here, and everything's a blur. I'm not sure if I've told you guys this. I may have. But there's another piano key waiting for me. In the deep.
What do you mean waiting for you?
Yeah, Norman, what are you talking about?
It's something we can talk about later, but Randy, do you know where else we would find any others of these?
Damn. I don't know where. Why do you need my help? You're already basically there.
Complete the puzzle for us.
Yeah. Are you guys serious? You want to do this?
As serious as we are present here right now. I guess you could say I'm deeply serious.
There's a little trick we found along the way. I assume Felix found it out too at some point if he's, going around looking for them. And it might have been how they found the second grand treasure as well. The hardest part's just getting a piece of the key, but once you got a piece, it's actually not that hard to find where the rest are. It's just difficult to get to the place to find out where the rest are, if you know what I mean.
Not really.
Yeah, I can't say I know what you mean by that either.
Well, you gotta go, up there.
That's the roof of the cave. Do you want me to go up there?
Here, let me pull this out. I'll show you where you gotta go.
And he reaches into his backpack and he opens it again. It's like, back.
He's like, shut up.
Reaches in, grabs these two, like, gloves that look like they've been used and worn. They're just like little leather gloves. And he puts them on. He's like, all right. He raises his hands to the roof and it immediately, like, molds the earth. And it molds the earth open and a hole opens. And it's still daylight, but he's like,
you might be able to see it right now, but see up there?
and you all look up and you see the moon.
And he's like, yeah, you gotta go to the moon.
What? DM. Come on.
And that's where we're gonna take a break.
I can't go up there. What is up, you cheapskates? It's me, Jacob, from the regular show, Play Zippy. I'm here for your little mid-roll entertainment here. Just a couple of announcements for you guys. We are doing a kaiju-related episode for Halloween there, coming out on Saturday, but just for our Patreons there. We want to be able to give them something fun and exciting and spooky as well for Saturday there. Keep your ears and eyes out for that on our Twitter. One of promotional for it, but it's going to be a fun time. Again, just for our Patreons. But if you want to check out our Patreon, you can have access to this just for $2 there to have access to our Discord. And there's also other tiers there to get you excited about as well. Just plugging, it's my mid-roll. Do what I want. We also have a little ad here for adjacent podcast to us called Infinite Deer. They're an amazing podcast. They also do D&D, and they just started a new campaign. Check out their Twitter. They have all the info you need about it. But I'm just going to play a little ad here just for you guys to listen and get a feel for them as well.
Hello, David Attenborough here. Because you cunts are destroying the natural world, sometimes I like to disappear into a fantasy world. A D&D podcast. We are Infinite Deer. Find us on iTunes or any other podcast download platform. See you later.
All right, and final things, just want to give an awesome shout out to our huge Patreon supporters, Randy and Camden. You guys, we always say this in our mid-roll. Don't know if you listen to them, but we love you guys so much. Thank you for supporting us and believing in what we're doing here. As you could tell from the first part of the episode, we have Adam doing even more musical stuff this season, so that's only possible because of our Patreon supporters and what they allow us to free up our time with and whatnot. And we're really happy and fortunate to have you guys as amazing supporters there. But yeah, I don't want to take too long getting back to our episode. Again, check out Infinite Deer there. Check out our Kaiju episode coming out on Halloween. And check out our socials as well. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, @Cheaper by the Dungeon there. You guys know the drill. And let's get back into the episode. Thanks.
And we're back. And you just found out that the way to find out the rest of, like, where the grand treasure pieces are, like the rest of the piano keys, and potentially where the actual, like, vault door to the grand treasure is on the moon.
The moon! Wait, isn't that like Borderlands or something? Where, like, the vault's on the moon? In the original one?
The vault's not on the moon, just the way, basically the map to try and find the grand treasures is on the moon.
So, Randy, now that you mention it, we actually came across some information. One, not only I'm thinking about moons a lot because I recently basically read the mind of an Ant-Man earlier today, and he said that the moon island is home. I don't know if you could give us directions to that place. I'm assuming it's kind of close by based on other information we previously learned. But more than that...
The moon island's home? Nobody lives there. But, conveniently, that's kind of where you need to be to get to the moon. Very convenient that the shape, you know. Crazy.
How are we supposed to even breathe up there? Isn't space like a non-breathing place?
We would have no way of knowing that. It's probably completely habitable.
No, it sucks.
Oh.
There's some bubbles. But yeah, you're gonna probably need some sort of item or something. I don't have one on me, but last time we used these like bugs. They kind of make like a little bubble suit around you.
Ooh.
Okay.
A bubble bug.
Yeah, that's what we called them.
Oh, well, you know what? It's just so polyphonic, you know? It sounds good. This wouldn't happen to have anything to do with the clue that we got from Level. Actually, I'd love a little bit of a history lesson on Level as well, if you know about him. But I say it as I turn towards Randy, but I'm going to turn back to Darren and Zippy. We got some information from Level about Felix that was going to meet a bunch of greeters on the night of the second moon or something like that. Do you guys remember anything about that?
Yeah, that's he was telling us about that, and that it was going to be the top 10 graders were all going to be there. That meant Kendula and Odin too, and I remember we talked about potentially trying to connect with them about that meeting. And I've read a mythos once about the origins of the moon and where it came from, and I'm having difficulty remembering it. You wouldn't...
Wasn't it something like someone kicked like a rock into the space and then the meteors kept hitting it till it made a big giant rock in the space?
No, not quite. It was,
That sounds right.
That's not what was... No, that's not in the story.
Are you referencing, like, second moon? There's only one moon on this plane. Maybe they're talking about a different one, like the Feywild. Or they could be referring to, you know, One of those, like, eggshells up there.
Yeah, how long have you even been on this plane, Darian? How would you know about our moon?
Yeah, what do you mean eggshell, Randy?
Guys, we are getting ahead of ourselves first.
Okay.
Well, I don't think we are. What are they were talking about?
We
trying
need to get to the
here.
moon.
Yeah.
And I'm saying we, because I'm joining your team out of sincerity and niceness that I am.
Wait, why would you do
But also,
Why would you do that?
because if you guys are this serious and this close, I hate to do this, fellas, but I need a favor
Oh, no.
for all the info I've been giving you.
I don't know. Well, you tell us the favor and then we'll do a team huddle, because people like to use us, and I don't like that.
That's true. You mentioned Turi before, and we got really played by him a little while ago.
Turi, Karen, Robo Dude who turned into a train.
Well, I don't know if I guess he kind of played us, Leslie. Yeah.
He played us 100%.
Well, listen. I've told you about the moon, told you about my past, which everyone should already know by now. But I'm sorry I've been withholding a little bit of more info. The way to get there's a way. But for me to help you more, I really need you to help me. You see, I can't leave this cave because of shame.
What?
I mean, look at me. I'm a dragon, right? Wrong. I don't have no fire.
What?
You see, I got my fire sucked out of me. Down in Jakul. Just that city down the coast, down the river.
Okay, go on.
My dream is always to be a dragon. I need fire to be a dragon.
So,
Right?
well,
So, I need you guys to go down to the cool and get my fire back. If you do that, heck, I'll show you the way to the moon myself. I'll take you there.
I'm not quite following here. Is it like some kind of magical crystal or something? I thought it was just like a natural thing that Dragonborns could do is breathe fire as well. Sorry, dragons could do to breathe fire as well. How is it taken from you?
They sucked it out of me like a vacuum. Like,
And
I know it's normally like a natural thing, but they had some sort of magic item that just sucked the air out of me, out of my lungs, and my fire with it.
And so you can't make any more?
Watch.
And just like dust.
Yeah, that's not too good.
so who would have this magical device?
And just to rule out all options, this isn't an age thing.
No, definitely not an age. How dare you?
Oh, before we went on another wild goose chase, I just wanted
Dragons
to be sure
live forever.
we ruled out all the other options.
I think you mean dire goose chase, Darian, is the expression.
True. Delicious.
Going on a hunt in the north.
Well, it's intercool, like I said. But before I give you, will you guys help me? I'm struggling here. I've been in this cave so long, I can't leave and look at the world in the eye. I feel naked. The only people I show my face to are the creatures and sometimes the twingers.
It's pronounced Schwinger, Randy. I'm gonna turn
It's-
to Darian. I'm gonna turn to Darian and Zippy, and I'm gonna, in a lower voice, I'm gonna say, if we really do believe that he can get us to the moon, which is the next step towards getting to a grand treasure clue, I don't know what other choice we have but to do what he requests.
I don't know. We've been able to do things on our own for... This seems like... I don't know. Do you think there's a reason Coco wanted to kill him more than he's leading on? That's what I wonder.
I should have done an insight check when he was talking about it. I feel like it's gone stale now. You know, there's like that moment of time where you can insight, but then it's too late.
Well, we've just met him. I think it's fair to ask more questions if we want to, before including somebody in our party, just actually get to know everything about them. gonna have to trust him at least to some extent if he's actually going to come along, so I think it's fair to ask.
Well, he's not really gonna fit in the airship. I mean, I didn't want to bring up the elephant in the room, because
That's
like
problem number one.
Yeah, like
Okay, I can overhear this now, and I get it. I don't have wings. Some dragons don't have wings. Fact. I'm taking that.
It's not just that. I mean, you look great, Randy. Honestly, like you don't look a day over 300. But the problem is that you're so big. It's really going to damage our ability to do anything stealthy, to do anything incognito.
That's fine.
I mean,
I'll just meet you guys wherever you go. I'll just be a remote member of the team.
Ah, I see. Well, just don't let any other monks in, especially ones named May and Cornelius, because...
But teammates help each other. I mean, I should know. I was on the first Grand Treasure team, and we did some incredible things.
Insight check.
You want to insight check if he was on the first Grand Treasure?
That they worked together when he said that. Like, teams, like he's kind of implying that they all got along. I want to insight, if I can DM, like...
I'll say naturally from conversational insights, you can tell that some were more cliquey because he mentioned that, and that not everybody was like buddy-buddy, but they did work together.
Okay, cool, never mind.
Sorry, you brought up your team. You've already withheld some information, so just to put all the cards on the table here, why did Coco want to kill you? Why were you recoiling in fear when you thought he was here? It seems like you're not being completely forthright with us, Randy.
Well, I kind of accidentally broke his bow.
Oh.
And I'm assuming this was a very important bow.
Mm-hmm. Bramble Patch's finest, apparently.
No. That was you?
What do you mean? It was a long time ago, before your time, little
They
buddy.
still talk about it. That thing was like as national treasure as it gets.
I mean, I don't know about that, but now you're making me feel worse. I felt terrible, but Coco was like kind of a brooding, like just sad emo type. Like his flopped ear was over his eye, like, and he was kind of always like shifty and scary. And when I did that, just after we got swindled by Baby Beak Nelson, he kind of lost it.
Okay. Can I insight check that story just to be sure?
Sure.
19 plus 2. Oh, actually, plus 6. Got proficiency, so 25.
Yeah, that seems like what really happened.
Okay. I just want to be... Oh. All right, well, it seems as though your reasons don't appear to be nefarious. Look, forgive us for being a little bit guarded here, but, when you just meet somebody and they want to completely join your team...
Look how open I am, and I just met you. You should do the same.
I was about to get to that I appreciate your level of honesty that you've given to us, and really, frankly, the amount of information you've given us so far, and I do see value in some of your knowledge. Sorry, I'm going to get back to our little huddle here. We were still discussing. So just hold that thought. Let us just kind of finish hashing this out. Thank you.
Okay, I'll pack my bag.
Oh. Okay.
He starts taking the stew off the counter, and he starts pouring the stew into the stew just directly into the backpack. The large one is just like...
I think the decision might have just been made for us. Which, I mean, if I'm being honest, I'm not entirely complaining about, but I think he's planning on coming.
I just honestly don't know, unless he uses like a reduce spell. He honestly will have to walk beside the ship. Like he can, like...
Logistically, I'm not sure.
No, that's fair. It seemed like he was pretty capable of getting around himself, though, is what he was implying. That's why he was a quote-unquote remote member.
I just feel like there's a lot of mystery to him still. How do we know he didn't start the fire?
Which fire?
Yeah, what fire?
What do you mean? Darian doesn't remember the fire that was engulfing the entire
Oh,
forest.
right. Sorry. Sorry. I forgot. That's fair. He did say he'd like to associate with the Chewingas. Actually, wait a minute. No, the Chewingas were under attack. They said they were his friends. I don't see any reason that he would do that.
I say we go get this thing that he needs out of Takul, because whether or not he joins us and whether or not it's permanent or temporary, so far I don't know of any other way to get to the moon. And unless both of you do,
I've never seen how high the ship can go.
I mean, we actually did. The first time we used it, we actually sputtered out.
Yeah, but we can use like enhance like elements on the spirit on the we can push it harder.
I still feel like the moon is really far though.
Yeah, but it can't be that far. It's pretty big.
Look, he has a wealth of knowledge, and to be frank, I don't know a lot about this plane specifically. So, having basically a walking encyclopedia that centered around the grand treasures and what we're hunting for is a wealth of knowledge that none of us have.
I don't know, Darian. Knowledge can be a curse sometimes.
That's true.
Fair. And I know, Norman, you do apparently seem to know a few things you haven't exactly wanted to share yet, which again, in your own time, but I mean, if you tend to know more about Grand Treasure information, it might be pertinent to share that sooner rather than later, but I understand now's not the time. I'd say, really, if he can figure out his own form of travel, whether it be some kind of reduce or just getting there himself, I don't see any harm in letting him tag along.
Hey, how are you getting on our ship anyways if we decide to bring you along?
Your airship you're talking about?
Yeah, it's about this big.
That's fine. I'll find a way.
No, like how?
Well, if I can, I'm a good swimmer.
Okay. He says he can swim, guys.
Yeah, you know what? Like I said, it's as long as he doesn't plan on being on the airship at that size, I'm not opposed.
Don't you think James will get jealous?
I think James doesn't really care about a lot except himself.
You know what? This might be like a trigger for him to make him jealous, to make him want his position on the ship, A little bit of competition never hurt anybody.
I just think he sees himself as numero uno ever since Yogurt left, and this is going to change the whole, the whole ship mentality and structure and everything.
If nothing else, he'll keep Pepper occupied. I say let's go to Takul.
You see, he's still packing stuff, and he turns to you all, and he's like,
So, what do we say? More info? And also, as a thanks for me giving you all my info, I'll give you the insider scoop on exactly what we did to find our grand treasure so that you can do the same. But you gotta get my fire. What's a bard without their fire, without their soul?
If we get in trouble, can you help fight with us? Is that a thing?
I'm not a fighter, but alright.
Alright.
I mean, I'm not against having a giant dragon on our side, so let's head off to Takul then.
Alright, so you guys go, and you're gonna take the river, I guess. That's the fastest way. And I'll wait here, I'll keep packing, and then when you get back, just give me the fire. It should be in probably a little box or something. It should be inside something, because fires will go out if they're not inside something. If it's in a box, don't open the box, okay? And also, I should mention that it's probably going to be, so you're going to have to go into the Takul castle probably, or find a way in. You might have to go to the Coliseum. Actually, that's a good idea. You should go to Coliseum. Because they're doing a whole tournament right now here, and if you win, you get an audience with the king, and actually you get to go down to find the tether to, what is his name? Ganala. And then you go down there, and then you can go there, and it'll probably be down there.
Oh, guys, we absolutely have to do this. Oh,
yeah, that sounds like a Normandy thing. Coliseum.
Tournament arc.
Oh,
yeah. So if I had to do it, obviously you have free choice. But if I had to do it, go to the Coliseum, win that thing, become the champions. You could probably do it, and then get an audience with that freaking king who took my fire, and then you'll probably figure it out from there. It's got to be either in the castle or down like where the Ganala tether is.
Wait, so the king of Takul took your fire?
Yeah.
What's with us and getting involved with royalty all the time?
Oh,
It sounds to me like you secretly love it.
people being royalty is a perception. I see him as a regular Joe. His name's Veal, by the way, King Veal.
Like a baby beef?
Kinda. Call him that. Call him that when you see him. I wish I could. I won't pay
He
back.
was giving on baby beef.
Yeah, I want
Right.
payback. So go there, get it. You'll figure it out.
You said to take the river down. You wouldn't happen to have a spare small boat, would you?
Let's just fly there.
Oh, actually,
Why
yeah.
would he have a small spare boat? He's huge.
Actually, I do. I like to whittle soap
I don't know.
sometimes, and I thought I'd use wood this one time. 1 sec. And he opens his backpack, and again, it's like backpack. And he sticks his hand in. He's like, oh, man, I got some stew. I should have put the stew in the other pot. Here. And you hear rustling and like clanging. And they say, all right, here. And you see a wooden raft that's like tied together with rope. It's just like, 6 logs just like tied together. And like a little sail. He's like, yeah, you can use this if you'd like. And he holds it up like it's like a piece of paper, but it's to you, it's like a big raft that could fit all of you.
How far down the river is the city?
All right. So what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna head down the river, and you're gonna go with the river. You're gonna keep going. It's gonna be a little bumpy at first, but then you get through and it'll be calm and it'll be nice, and you just row through that part. And then you go past there. There'll be a waterfall. I'm pretty sure you can either just jump it or you can get off there, because once you're down the waterfall, there it is. You'll see it. It's the big like Aztec looking place. And then go there, get to the king, and I would recommend using force to get him to tell you where my fire is. Because I know he's got like some sort of like treasure haul, and then you'll find it'll have to be obvious. It'll be the hottest thing around.
Well, I find force with kings usually doesn't go well, but keep that in mind.
Yeah, but when you're as old as me, you forget that. People got power when you've seen real power, like a dragon's power.
Well, a dragon without fire.
Okay.
I say we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
So what do you say, fellas?
Yeah, all right. I say we do it, but wait, quick question before we go. What time is it anyway?
Seems like it's like midday, noon.
Well then,
Shotgun!
I see no reason to get going.
Shotgun.
Sure, as long as you're still rowing.
Okay.
What would a shotgun be in a boat?
Hey, do you guys hear that?
I've
Wait, do you guys hear that? Shotgun. Let's do it.
Randy goes to the entrance that you guys came in. It's very small. It's like it wasn't like large, like something slightly bigger than you guys would have fit through there, but no way could Randy fit. So he sticks his hand in with his glove and he like molds the earth up, and it like magically molds, and he like opens the cave, and then he takes the raft and he places it on the river and like puts it just off so you guys can push off, and then he like starts molding it back down.
He's like, can't let people see me still. So I really appreciate you guys doing this, and I promise if you do right by me, I will do so right by you.
Yeah, that's what they always say.
I mean it. I'm offended. I mean it.
All right, let's go, guys. I'm sick of this cave.
Bye, Randy.
Okay.
Bye. Good luck.
Keep packing.
Yeah, it should only take you like, I don't know, to get it all. 3 episodes.
Not bad.
That sounds like a pretty
You
reasonable
know what?
measurement.
We've thought that before. And welcome to season 2.
All right. Then he waves
Okay.
goodbye and he starts packing his stuff. And you guys are outside the cave, looking at the river with the raft on the river, and it's like pretty rapid moving. It's not going very slow, and you can see just down the path. It gets a little bumpy, so it's going to be a bit of a rocky ride. But yeah.
Oh,
Right. Well,
sorry, DM. So we have some time that we're just riding this raft?
I mean, are you going to get on it?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. I my mind went straight to montage mode. I'd climb on the raft.
I quickly grabbed the walkie-talkie and radio James to say, James, we have a pretty solid lead, but unfortunately we're going to have to clean up a few messes. We're heading to the city of Takul. If you want to start keeping the airship closer to that city, just in case anything goes wrong. But stay in the air.
You got it. I'll stay. Let me know if you need anything.
That was so nice of him. You know, that was like a genuinely compassionate, thoughtful thing to say.
I agree, actually. Okay.
You know what? Maybe James just needed some alone time. You know, some of his own space. Maybe that bathtub was a really good investment for him.
True. Hopefully we didn't ruin it. All right. Any
We
other
should let
questions
him know
before we get on
that
the
we
boat?
should let him know that we're gonna be gone for a couple episodes.
Oh, I'm sure he'll be fine.
You don't think he's just gonna run away with the ship or anything? What if we get captured?
I feel like he's a little too depressed to run away with the ship.
Darian, you are heartless. My
Also,
goodness.
Pepper's there.
Oh yeah. All right, let's go.
All right, hop on. Also, I'm not rowing myself.
You all hop on, and you realize you don't really have to row. There are some paddles in case, like very long, like oars on the sides, but the way the river's going, you don't feel like you'll have to paddle, at least at this part. And you get on, and the journey to Cool starts now. You guys are going down the river, and it's immediately a little bumpy. You're all getting your kind of like sea legs, because even though you ride on a flying boat, it's not the same as the regular boat. And you're going down the waves, and they're kind of getting a little bumpy and rocky. Quick, everybody, skill challenge time. What are you gonna do to beat these rocky waves? You look down of waves, and you see that there's a lot of, like, it's turning into rapids, and it's getting much more aggressive. What are you gonna do to make sure this boat does not collapse?
I'm going to use intimidation on the rapids. I'm just going to stare him down.
Okay, roll persuasion.
Roll. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Acrobatics.
All right.
I would like to, sorry, just while Adam's rolling, I would like to grab a paddle to try and help navigate the boat, so it's not just, floating down freely and banging off a rock, so I can try and steer around them using my survival skill.
Okay. And Zippy?
I'd like to use athletics to spread myself starfish to balance the boat.
Okay,
I ate a big lunch, so I'm thinking that if I sit on one side to the boat or the other, it's gonna tip it some bit.
Sure. Okay, survival. Everybody, roll those things and let me know what the total is.
4 plus 7, 11.
15 plus 6, 21.
And I did athletics, so that's a 1, not natural.
Okay. You guys
No!
are rolling down, and the waves are immediately picking up, and the river's getting much more aggressive, and immediately you see some ropes they snap and they start flying off. And Zippy, you're face down on it trying to, and you can see your face is starting to peer through like 2 of the logs because they're starting to separate a bit. And your raft is looking kind of shaky, and you're going down.
The reason I put myself face down is so I didn't have to see what was, like the danger, but the danger showed up right in front of my face.
I get to see Zippy.
This is going to be a pretty loose skill challenge, I should say, as well, but we're going to keep going. You guys are moving, and it's starting to like separate, and you're moving through the rapids, and all of a sudden you hear rustling in the jungle trees to your left. You hear rustling. The cliff face that was like the cave entrance is gone now. It's just trees and jungle around you, and you can hear something like kind of like digging and clawing through the trees. You can see it's shaking. Something big is coming, and you see it breaks over, and it kind of arcs over your raft like a bridge, and it's like a giant centipede, and it lands on the other side. And you look, and you see that riding the giant centipede is this like bug cicada humanoid thing, and it has this wide brim hat, and with like vines like draping down from the edges of the brim, so you can't really see the head, but you can see that there is this cicada knight riding this giant centipede, like standing up on it with like reins, and you can see on its hand holding the reins there's a blue flower. It's another bug bad guy. Ooh. And the centipede and bug person look like they want to attack you, and you can see that it's starting to veer and go for a wide turn to slam into your raft with its giant centipede. What do you all do?
Okay. Connor, do you mind if I go first?
Go for it.
Okay. So last episode I used Mantle of Whispers when we killed that Ant-Man. I stole his shadow when he died, which basically, before I take a long rest, I can make myself look like just like this person, and I know all of the knowledge that they have that they would share with an ally, or that's not kept as a secret. And I get a +5 to deception checks.
Okay.
So I'm going to use deception on this guy. So I'm going to so in the blink of an eye when he's turning around, I'm going to make myself look like the bug guy. And I'm just going to wave and say, "They're with me. They're with me."
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to roll.
And Darian.
I kind of want to see how he responds to what Norman says before.
It's a skill challenge. It's either pass or fail as a group.
Okay. Okay, well, if I'm going just how Darian would react then, Darian would have whipped out his wand of webs, and he would have cast the web spell between two trees in front of the rider and the giant millipede, so that they had to get caught in that web, hopefully slowing them down to keep them out of range.
So what are you rolling?
I'll do Arcana.
Okay.
Let's do Arcana.
And DM, I'm gonna use the mend that I talked about, but I'm gonna use my skill of nature to determine the wood from the forest below me. So
Sure.
From the wood that I've seen around the forest, I'm gonna use that knowledge to help mend it to the best of my ability.
You've seen a lot of wood.
Yeah, he has.
All
The
right.
bramble patch.
Everybody roll and let me know what you got.
I got an 11 plus 3, so that's 14 total.
19 plus 2, 21.
Nice.
32.
32.
I rolled a 14. My deception is +13. That's 27. Plus my Mantle of Whispers, which is +5. 32.
Okay.
Oh wait, plus my proficiency, I got 25.
Okay. The giant centipede with the cicada rider is on it, and it goes arcing back. And in that moment, you transform, Norman, and you're setting up the webs for where it's gonna like arc around to Darian and Zippy. You are successfully mending and putting the raft back together. It's actually coming back together, and you're repairing it. And as it turns, it's coming and it's barreling through. And not only does the cicada person, you can see for a moment, just as they see you, Norman, like they're diving in with their centipede, but they kind of like veer it. And also, naturally, the giant centipede was going to veer anyways because it just got a bunch of webs in its face, clogging its eyes. And it just immediately like turns really hard, and you can see it kind of lands on its side because it drifted too hard. And you can see the underbelly of the centipede with all its legs like flailing in the air as it like, and it's like just grinding along the coast here. But then it starts picking itself up and coming, but it's a ways behind you now as you guys are rocking down the river. You can see that it's barreling back. It's trying to catch up. But what are you going to do to either get ahead of it or slow it down?
I'm going to whip out the wind fan from my hilt, and I'm going to cast a gust of wind to give the raft a big boost of speed farther down the river.
Okay. And what are you going to roll for that?
I guess Arcana again, because it's another spell.
Okay. And Norman?
Am I allowed to use the same skill in the same encounter or no?
If you want to, yeah, it's up to you. It's all just for you to be as creative as you want. So do whatever you want or whatever works best.
Okay. So DM, can I tell that he's still pursuing us because he like sees through my illusion?
I mean, you could try to like do it with the illusion again. He isn't like completely sure, but you know, they're still charging at you. Whether to say hi or to attack, you can't really tell from this distance.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to... And how far away is he?
They're about 60 feet, but they're gaining.
In that case, I'm going to use Phantasmal Killer. Let's go for it. Okay, level 4 spell. You tap into the nightmares of a creature you can see within range, 160 feet, and I create an illusory manifestation of its deepest fears, probably snakes, visible only to that creature. The target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the target becomes frightened for the duration, which is up to a minute. Its concentration. At the end of each of the spell's turns, the target's turns before the spell ends, it must make a wisdom saving throw, or take 4d10 psychic damage.
Sure. So since this is a skill challenge, like I'll take into account that stuff, but we're not going to like roll serious damage here.
Cool.
But
So just Arcana?
you want to roll Arcana or yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And Zippy?
The drum beats of my heart. They race. It's time, and I push Darian out of the way, and I move to the back of the boat. And I stand on the back of the boat, and the centipede's in front of us or behind us?
It's behind.
Right. And I raise my hands up. I want to cast Control Water. And I, as I always do, and I want to use the Flood. So I can cause the level of the standing of the water in the area to rise as much as 20 feet. So I should be able to keep bringing a 20 feet wall that pushes us like right behind the boat that we're kind of like surfing on it.
Yeah.
But it should also separate us from this centipede thing as well. DM, could I roll nature for this because the way the river current curves and everything is
That your
all part
understanding of
nature.
natural properties?
Yeah.
Sure.
And
I'll let it slide.
also seeing the area from above, I spotted the river while I was flying over.
I don't
It's
know
all
what that
part
has
of
to
the
do with
nature.
it, but sure. Very loose, sure, but go for it.
That's a 25. I rolled
Okay.
a 19 again.
And DM, that was 12 plus 10 for me for my Arcana, for my Phantasmal Killer spell, so 22.
Okay. And Darian?
And then I 11 plus 3 also on Arcana, so 14.
All right. So you raise the water up. It starts flooding up and flooding. And you cast Phantasmal Killer on the cicada. And immediately... The cicada, right? Not the centipede?
You know what? I'll pick the centipede. Why not?
Okay. So the centipede sees the water wave coming, and we're gonna snapshot to what's in their head besides bug thoughts, which are like dig dig dig. You see that they're visualizing this wave of water that's growing to be like the head of a snake, a giant snake that's like slithering up and becoming large. And everyone knows bugs hate snakes, so it like flips out and immediately like darts into the jungle, like just veers off completely and scrams and is getting the water on it. It's like you can hear it kind of like screaming, and the cicada is just like chirping, and they go off into the jungle. And to make sure that you're moving way out of sight, Darian, you hit the fan and boof, you go like a speedboat down the river, and you're flowing down. You guys are moving down the river, and you get out of the rapids part, and you're in a calmer area. Zippy, you're still raising the water behind you, so it is giving you some kind of like push from it, because it's like, you know, moving with you somewhat, but not very much. But there is kind of like a walking wall of water behind you. And you are entering into this area where there's all these vines. This part of the jungle is much denser, and there's vines hanging from the trees. Some is even touching the water, but it's like a curtain of them is in front of you. And you open it up. You use like the oars to part the vines as you go into this kind of lake area. It's still flowing in a direction. It's flowing south, but it has widened significantly. And in this kind of like tent, if it's a tent made by like vines are the walls, you can see there's large tree roots that are acting as like winding and curving bridges all throughout this area. Some are going under the water, some are coming out of it. But you can see like there's a lot of these just tree roots and logs and everything making this area kind of a bit of a maze. And you are making this water wave, and it's like, you know, it's making some noise. And you look up above, and you can actually notice that some of the vines that are hanging down, they come down like a vine, and then they bulge out. Kind of like there's something cocooned in the vine. And they look like kind of human-shaped cocoons, like hanging from the ceiling. And you can see these blue, like, tendrils light up. They kind of like, shoo, they kind of pulse. And there's all these, you look up and you can see the top, in the tree top, with all the vines, are these, like, moving, almost like tentacly blue things that are, like, surrounded by vines. And you can see, they hear the water from that you're raising. And immediately, you see one dive from the top and come barreling down towards the water. It's coming towards your raft, towards your water. It's like this floating, flying squid vine thing. And it's blue and it's viney and it's coming at you like a bullet. What do you want to do?
All of us?
Yeah.
Man, I'm going to duck out of the way if it's diving at us. I'm just going to use my acrobatics to dodge it.
Okay.
Cool.
And Darian? We're still in skill challenge.
11 plus 7 for medium. 18.
I want to pull out my dancing blade, and I can use an ability where I can have it attack at a distance. So I'm actually going to draw it and throw it up towards the tangled monster so that it actually intercepts it in the air and slashes it in the air in hopes to deflect it away from the raft.
Okay.
Is my spell over with control water, or am I still using it?
You're still using it, I would assume, if you're still concentrating.
Yeah, it's concentration, so I'll just keep doing nature. I'll roll nature, I suppose, for a skill check.
Okay.
Because this is a skill challenge, I'll just use the skill athletics.
All right.
Just for that action. Because it, yeah.
9 plus 6 is 15 there.
17 plus 8 is 25.
Norman?
Oh, sorry. Sorry, DM. 11 plus 7. 18.
Okay. You are moving, and you can see it's flying down like a bullet. Darian, you whip your sword out and throw it, and it cuts it. You can hear it like scream. And Norman, you jump out of the way as this vine creature comes squealing through, and it just misses the raft and dives under the water as like blood was leaking from it. But as it screams, all of these tendril octopus flying vine monsters come down. These vine wisps come down, and they're floating, and they're looking for the sound. They're going, and some are like shoo, shoo. Some are dive bombing into where that scream noise was, and they're splashing into the water. And now some are attacking the splashed water because of the noise. It seems as though they rely solely on echolocation or noise to attack. And they are just now, because there's like a commotion, the raised water that you're raising, Zippy, is causing noise. And everything everywhere, it's kind of just like a storm of these vine wisps just slamming around you, flying around. What do you want to do?
Wow.
We have to be quiet. We have to just all calm down.
I will cast Pass Without a Trace so that it will reduce the sound and of our movement. And so that they continue to target the other splashes and noises and isolates the raft.
Okay. And so you're going to roll stealth for that?
Yes.
Okay. And Norman and Zippy?
Because Zippy said that we got to be quiet. I am going to channel that, and I'm going to see. This is going to be the best silent performance I've ever done. And I'm just going to stand there in stoic silence, and I'm hoping you'll let me do performance for that.
Like performance art, like a street side statue person?
Exactly. I'm just trying to
All
look
right.
like the statue in the front of a ship.
Okay.
And I just want
Zippy?
everyone listening to just really picture how epic that moment is.
Are there any like little spiders or wasps or anything around?
Yeah, I would say there's some spiders or like mosquitoes and stuff around, yeah.
Or other like small centipedes?
You look around, you don't see any small centipedes around you because you're in the middle of a lake right now.
But spiders?
You could see a spider hanging from like a vine or from one of the roots, yeah.
I'm gonna cast giant insect on the spider and gonna just say to the spider, have a party.
Wow, sacrificial
Just go
lamb.
nuts. Just go nuts. And then yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna do animal handling for that.
Okay.
That makes sense.
It makes sense to me. And this spell just makes an insect giant.
It can make 3 spiders giant. And a spider becomes a giant spider. Each creature obeys your verbal commands. And yeah, it's going to be a giant for about 10 minutes.
Okay, well, I don't think it'll live that long, but all right. So everybody roll, and let's see what you got.
I've never even heard this spell before. That's so crazy.
Go, my pretties!
I want to make a character that's just fully based around this idea and walks around with like a jar of spiders.
Giant spiders go.
That's a 7 + 7 for me, 14.
DM, I got for my performance. I just wasn't in the right mindset. 4 + 7, 11.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Mine is a 13.
Ooh, ouch.
Yeah, with proficiency and everything.
They are coming and slamming down, and you guys are trying to be quiet. Pass Without a Trace is cast.
Ooh, that might
But
help.
I distracted with my water, remember? By
yes, I
smashing it
remember
away
you
from us.
splashed the water, but there is a bar for these skill challenges, guys. And you push the water away. Some are slamming into that. And then this innocent spider just dangling on a web underneath one of these like roots that is arcing up like a little like U-shaped bridge. And it's hanging there on its web, and then you make it big, and immediately it's like, and the web snaps under the weight, and it's flailing and squealing, and it falls into the water, and immediately you see a ton of wisps just come and boom, 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 slam into the water, and then you see dragging up out of the water is the spider, but it's all entangled in vines, and the vines are like surrounding the spider, and it's getting dragged up into the treetop and attached like one of the other probably humanoid hanging people.
Ugh.
And you can see it's still wriggling, and then it stops moving.
Ironic.
But also, since the spider was splashing near you guys, some of them slammed into the raft and are poking, like slamming holes into it and actually breaking apart the logs as it's berating your raft. It's still together, but it's Swiss cheese now, and also it's still kind of coming apart. And it's slamming around you, and it looks bad. Just then, as you guys are trying to stay as quiet as possible in your Pass Without a Trace bubble to get the wisps off you, you hear rustling, and all the wisps kind of look up and look, and you see barreling in through the vine curtain, way off on the other side of the lake, is a giant centipede.
Yes!
With the cicada rider.
Our savior!
And the giant centipede comes and lands on some roots, snapping and breaking them, and lands in the water. And you just see the wisp go nuts, and and they're all slamming into the giant centipede and wrapping it, and it's squealing. And the cicada rider jumps off and lands on one of the roots And it's just like, my ride, my car, right? And the centipede is getting wrapped and is being raised slowly, and it's like getting crushed, and you can see it's coughing up some blood, and then slowly it's getting wrapped and cocooned. But the wisps, after doing that, after that big noise, and the cicada rider is standing on one of the roots still being quiet, and you guys are slowly going down the river with your pass without a trace, you all watch as all the wisps had their attention on the centipede, and they finished wrapping it up. And then they're kind of just like chilling, and they're just all kind of like floating still because everything's gone silent. And the cicada looks at you guys, and you guys look at the cicada, and it takes out a dagger slowly, a little throwing dagger, and it throws the dagger towards you guys, and it wants to make some noise by either hitting one of you or splashing into the water. What do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna cast darkness all over our raft, so he can't see us clear enough to hit us.
Okay. Darian?
I am going to... If you're casting darkness on the raft, though. I'm going to... He hasn't thrown the dagger yet, right?
It's thrown. It's flying through the air.
Oh, okay. I'm just going to pull out my sword and try and deflect it.
Good luck in the dark.
Right?
And Zippy?
Okay, I'm just gonna summon an eagle in front of Darian's face.
All right.
You better thank me for that.
Like a real size eagle or like a giant eagle?
Yeah, just a real size one. I don't want to overkill.
So, just so we're all thinking clearly, and Jacob hasn't had too much to drink, you realize if an eagle gets hit by a dagger... Yeah, I guess.
I'm
all right.
Summoning it. It's mine. I can do what I want with it.
Okay. Everybody roll. What you got?
Natural 1 DM.
And it's a fae spirit. They'll just stop being an eagle, and then they'll just do their fae things after they get stabbed.
Darian, I'm really sorry, man.
9 plus 8, 17.
15.
All right, Norman, you were right. Getting a 1 is not a good call here.
At least 1 per episode, man.
You see the daggers flying, the wisps are still standing still, and you cast darkness, and everyone, Zippy and Darian, start panicking because they can't see. Darian immediately tries to draw his sword to like put it in a defensive mode to, deflect, and Zippy just instinctively casts a giant eagle to block everything.
Small eagle.
Just like he did, spread eagle in the Mechanos arc.
What was a small eagle?
It's a smaller eagle, but it still does the same move. And it takes a dagger right to the heart. And it goes, and it squawks. And all the whips go and turn their attention. And 2 nearby ones go. You tried, you commanded the eagle immediately to be quiet, but it still let out some noises. So 2 come and boom, boom through the darkness. You guys can't see. You just see whips are slamming into it, and your raft is breaking apart, and the ropes are separating. And you see now you guys are scrambling to gain control. And now you have just your 2 logs. Basically, each of you have a foot on one of these 2 logs that are just loosely tied together. As you're still flowing down. The cicada comes down, and you can see through the darkness. It lands just on the raft silently, and it draws a samurai sword out and holds it, and it looks at the ropes tying the raft together, and it looks at you guys, and it's gonna try and finish off this raft. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna cast the trusty Zephyr Strike to double my movement and burst forward and slash him.
I'm gonna duck down and let Darian handle this, and I'm just gonna mend as fast as I can.
Okay. And Norman?
I'm going to use Minor Illusion to create the sound of someone coughing right where the cicada guy is.
Okay. Everybody roll.
I really hope I roll another natural one. I just want to see what happens.
I got a 12 plus 6, got an 18.
I got a 10 plus 8 and I got an 18.
I got a 5 plus 10, 15.
You guys are lucky. Zippy, you get down and you start mending as quickly and quietly as you can. You start tightening the ropes that are left, making sure this 2-log raft is still doable. Norman, you can see that the samurai cicada is standing on the other end, and its like blade is ready, and it looks like its attention is just like right on Darian. And Darian, you blast forward just to like combat it, and you go and you clash sword, and it goes clang, and you clash, and it clangs, and all the wisps turn and look, and they start flying towards you guys. And Norman, you're like, cough, and you cast the cough, and they're all going for that general clang area. But as soon as you cough, they arc mid-flight towards the new sound, and boom, and just you see this cicada just get slammed, and its legs, torso, and head, like its legs go left, its torso gets hit from the left and goes right, and its head gets hit from the right and goes left, and poof, it just gets diced.
And the cough saves the day. Yes!
And the samurai sword goes. Its hat like cartoonish style. Like as soon as the head gets hit, the wide brim hat is there. It's like slowly falling down like a leaf from a tree, and the samurai sword is flipping up in the air. Stabs the hat.
Ooh, nice.
And goes into the water.
No.
No. What?
Oh, can I cast Mage Hand to catch that?
Yeah, I want to grab it.
Okay. Everybody roll athletics real quick.
Athletics, eh? Can't be Arcana. Okay. Athletics, DM?
Yeah.
15 plus 2, 17.
10.
14 plus 8, 22.
Darian's the one who catches it. He wasn't even wanting to originally, but Darian catches it and points the samurai sword in the direction that the water's flowing, and you all nod silently as you float out, and there's a new vine curtain here, and you part through it and go out, and you're flowing down the river. It's picking up a little bit again, and you can see, you hear and see the tree line, the dense jungle is opening up, and there's kind of a tunnel. It's like a tunnel and a hole at the end of this river, and you can see light, and also that it's a waterfall. And you can see a large brontosaurus head is just at the cusp of the waterfall here, right before it goes over the edge, and it's just drinking. You can't see where its body is. You just see its long neck and head reaching down and like lapping up the water at the edge here. And you guys are moving towards it. You're moving towards the edge. What do you want to do?
Oh, the waterfall. Oh.
No wisps are around anymore. That was left in the previous area.
Oh, I want to row. I want to row towards land, away from the as far away from the brontosaurus as I can. So athletics, I guess. Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump on that with him and try and help him row to the side so we can try and get off before we hit the waterfall.
That's good because my athletics is only +2.
And Zippy?
I'm just gonna watch them do it.
All right. Roll athletics to sit.
16 plus 8, 24.
18
Okay.
plus 2, modified 20.
And Zippy?
Nice.
13 minus 1.
This is, of course, the one that you roll best on, like all of you collectively. And you move, and you paddle hard to get to the shore away, the opposite side. The brontosaurus head's on the right side of the edge, and you're going to the left, and you get to the side, and the raft goes up on the land, and you all disembark. And you're moving just to like pull the raft up. You pull it up, And you go to the entrance now of this tunnel and where the waterfall is falling. And Zippy, the Brontosaurus, looks at you. It just goes, "Gee," and it like big smile grin. And just like, "Ee." And then it goes back to lapping water. And you guys look out over the top of the waterfall. And you can see it lands and the river ends abruptly after and circles around this Aztec-like city. The city of Takul. And that's where we're going to end the episode.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow. Great job.